Okay, I'm going to show you how to set up what I call the horizontal model on Excel. If you'll turn to page 110 of your textbook, I'm going to use that demonstration and that spreadsheet that's shown at the top, that illustration 3.3. I'll work through this, but you'll find once we set up this spreadsheet, you can use it to work pretty much any of your homework. Particularly, problem 1A asks you to do the horizontal model as well, and you'll be working through that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the horizontal model is basically the balance sheet. Assets equal liabilities plus stockholders' equity. In that book, on the far left column, we'll list the various transactions, and then cash gets listed. So let's enter in cash, go to the right, they have supplies, and then prepaid insurance. Actually, let's go up and do prepaid insurance, and then equipment. Okay, and then we go to our liabilities, and we'll have notes payable, and then accounts payable, and unearned. I'm just going to call it unearned revenue. Their listing is unearned service revenue, and common stock. And then retained earnings is going to be stretched across some columns, and underneath retained earnings we'll have revenue, expenses, and dividends. Three of those affect retained earnings. Okay, and looks like I need to go in. Let's go in and insert tiny little columns. Actually, let's go in. If I want to widen a column and I just want Excel to figure it out, again, I'm going to put my cursor in between here, E and F, and I'll double click, and Excel will just automatically, I'm just going to go through and let it automatically adjust. Oh, I don't need that for some of these. Retained earnings is going to go, I'm going to stretch that across, submerge and center across those three. And actually, we need to go in and we're going to insert, I'm going to keep it fairly narrow because it is supplies. And here, if I put a plus or a number or anything like that, Excel will read it as a formula. So I'm going to put apostrophe and then put my plus sign in. So supply, cash plus supplies. I'm going to insert a column here. Put my plus sign, actually, and if I double click on C and E, it automatically adjusts that. So I'm just going to go in and put my plus sign. This time it's going to be an equal sign. So it's equal. I'm going to leave it a little wider. I'm going to center it just to make it look a little cleaner. Okay, going. Click. Undo that. There we go. Okay, then we'll get to retained earnings. It is revenue minus expenses. Move that back. Sorry. Notice when I just wanted to, expenses was over here, and when I moved it, I've kind of got this cross arrow thing. Just click on it and it can move it over. And then space, and then minus dividends. Oh, so I have revenue, minus expenses, minus dividends. Retained earnings, let's underline that. Let's go to our borders, do underline. Okay, so cash, I'm going to hit Control, click on cash, supplies, prepaid insurance, equipment, payable, all of those that I want a bottom border. I'm going to click on all of those, and again, I've got the Control key down, and then I click on my bottom border, and I've got lines across all of those. Okay, we need a big heading for assets, and I'm going to merge and center across, and then I'm going to have a big line across all of that. So assets will look like that. Let's do liabilities now. And again, I want to click, drag across the liabilities, click on merge and center, and underline, and it'll look like that. And then the last one, stockholders' equity. Click on it, drag it across, merge and center, and underline. Okay, let's put all that in bold. And our formula, assets equal liabilities plus stockholders' equity. Our heading. Okay, that completes our heading. Now in the far column, A, we can start our transactions. So transaction 1, actually they put it in parentheses, 1, they received cash, $10,000, and they issued common stock. So I put it on the asset side and the equity side, and we are in balance, and I'm going to write the equal sign, so 10,000 equals 10,000. I also need to go in here, let's just highlight a bunch of this area, and let's go in and format to number. Let's do 0 decimals, separate out, and if we have a negative, I'm actually going to put brackets. That'll be a little different than the textbook. Okay, so back we have 10,000, or 10,000, and much easier to read now, isn't it, with those commas in there. I'm going to narrow column A, and I'm going to center it. Okay, let's go to the second line. Transaction 2. They also received cash. This time it was $5,000. And in exchange, they went to the bank and borrowed money, so they owe money. So cash came in. They issued a note. So we have 5,000 of assets going up, 5,000 of liabilities. Okay, transaction 3. They bought equipment. They bought equipment, so they gave up cash, so cash will go down. In exchange, they received equipment. And nothing happens on the other side. We're in balance, 0 on this side, and nothing over here. Okay, let's see. Let's do what I thought I was going to do. Let's see. This will be 4, 5, 6. Just going to go ahead and number them. 7, 8, I just want to get kind of an idea of, okay, and then after all of that, we will total the columns. I can spell it right. Make it widen a little so the word total shows up a little bit better. Okay, and here again, I want to hit Control, and I'm going to click on everywhere I want a line at the very bottom. I'm going to wait and I'll go back and actually do the transactions and put them into the horizontal model. I'm just going to set up. And then, of course, also, same spot. I should have left my control on and having those highlighted, but I didn't think of that while I was there. So I'll go in, hold my control key down, and do bottom double border. Okay, and then I'm going to write a formula. This is going to equal, actually, let me just do the auto sum. And it's going to start from the very beginning all the way down to the bottom. Up. Auto sum. There we go. And I'm actually going to just copy that. Notice I got my arrow. I'm going to left click, sort of drag that across. I need to delete from those skinny little columns. Go in and delete all of that because I don't need those total because those are going to have actual numbers in them. Okay, now I wanted to go ahead and do this to show you. I see I have messed something up here. These actually go down one, don't they? I'll go in and delete this. I'm assuming you did not make the same mistake that I did. Hopefully you didn't. Now I want to do something that'll make sure that my spreadsheet's functioning accurately. I want to add up all the balances. So I want to equal cash plus supplies plus my total prepaid insurance plus equipment. That's going to total $15,000. I want to make sure that equals my liabilities, so notes payable plus accounts payable plus unearned revenue plus my total common stock plus revenues all the way across. Okay, and as long as those are in balance, the 15 equals to 15, I know then that I'm putting my numbers in a balancing way and my equations are constantly working. So I'm good to go. All right, so I always want to pay attention to these here at the bottom. So let's put them in bold because we want to make sure that those are constantly balancing. This 15 equals that 15 or it's going to change. But if it doesn't, then it means I made a mistake up above. Okay, I need to put my equal sign in there. Okay, we're ready for transaction number 4. I'm going to work through them pretty quickly, assuming you've already listened to a lecture and you kind of have that all down. Transaction number 4 is that a customer gave us cash of $1,200. We have not provided the services, but we're going to, so we owe services. That's a liability, unearned revenue. So cash comes in, and then our liabilities increase, we owe services. Transaction 5, we received $10,000 cash because we provided services. That's revenue. And I think I'll just copy that equal sign all the way down and save myself some work. There we go. Let's just copy it down. Okay, so 10,000 equals for services provided. Number 6, we paid cash of $900 for rent. That's an expense. So cash went out for rent expense. So let's go over here. We have service revenue. This is rent expense. Just a little description of that. Okay, so we paid cash. So cash assets went down. Stockholders' equity went down because we used the rent. Transaction 7, we paid $600 cash. And that is paying for insurance in advance. We haven't used it yet, so it's an asset. So it's still a resource because we haven't consumed that cost yet, and cash went out. So it's an asset exchange. Transaction 8, we bought supplies at $2,500, so supplies come in. We did not pay cash. We purchased those on credit, so we owe money for it. So assets, supplies increase, and we owe money for that. Liabilities went up. Transaction 600. Oh, I don't know what transaction 9 in the book is. They left it blank. Transaction 10, they paid $500. So $500 went out. And that was a distribution of earnings to the shareholders. Distributions of earnings are called dividends for a corporation. So they gave up earnings, right? They distributed earnings in the form of cash. And the last one, they paid cash of $4,000 to their employees for services provided by employees. So salary expense. Employees worked and salary expense. Okay, and looks like I haven't been paying attention and got out of balance here. What did I do? Looks like this is what, 2,500. If I had been paying attention, I would have caught that back when I did transaction number 8. Perhaps you noticed that. Good for you if you did. Okay, so this is the horizontal model, and you can see how once it's set up, you're good to go, and it helps us analyze, what did we receive, what did we give up, and how does that affect the balance sheet equation.